The camera cuts to black. Silence. Then the faint sound of footsteps echoing through concrete hallways. Metal crashing. Someone screaming. And just like that, before a single bell could ring, before a single spotlight could hit that ring, the entire landscape of WWE was ripped apart. This is the story of how one brutal, calculated attack changed everything. How main event Jey Uso, the people's champion, the heartbeat of Friday nights, was found lying in a pool of his own blood in a Louisville backstage hallway just minutes before SmackDown was supposed to go live. How his dreams of competing in the Elimination Chamber were torn away in the most vicious way possible. And how the man who did it, Bronn Breaker, proved once and for all that he is not just the future of this business, he is the nightmare that nobody saw coming. What you're about to witness is not just another wrestling recap. This is the moment where chaos became reality, where violence became personal, and where one superstar's road to WrestleMania ended in an ambulance. So if you're ready to feel the raw emotion, the shock, the absolute carnage that unfolded, then you're in the right place. Because this is SlamZone, and we don't just talk about wrestling, we make you feel every single brutal second of it. Before we dive deep into this absolute war zone, I need you to do something for me. I need you to be part of this family. If you love wrestling the way I do, if moments like this make your heart race and your blood boil, then hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell, because when chaos breaks out in WWE, you need to be the first to know. And if this story hits you the way it hit me, drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Are you Team Jey, or do you think Breaker had every right to do what he did? Let's talk about it. Because wrestling isn't just entertainment, it's emotion, it's passion, and it's real to all of us. Now let's get into this. The KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. February 27, 2026. Fans are filing into the arena, electricity buzzing through the crowd like a live wire. They're ready for SmackDown. They're ready to see their favorites go to war. Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, LA Knight. But most of all, they're ready to see main event Jey Uso, the man who's been on an absolute tear, the man who was just 24 hours away from stepping into the Elimination Chamber with a shot at Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship on the line at WrestleMania 42. Jey had earned his spot. 3 nights earlier on Raw, he walked into a triple threat qualifier against Bronson Reed and El Grande Americano. And even after Reed suffered a torn biceps mid-match, forcing him out of the competition, Jey capitalized. He fought through the pain, through the chaos, and he got that victory. He punched his ticket to the chamber. The fans believed in him. His family believed in him. For the first time in a long time, it felt like Jey Uso was about to have his WrestleMania moment. But wrestling has a way of crushing dreams when you least expect it. Backstage, just minutes before SmackDown was set to go live, something happened. Something violent. Something that would send shockwaves through the entire WWE universe. Officials were scrambling. Voices were shouting. And in the middle of a shattered set, surrounded by broken equipment and debris, there he was. Jey Uso. Motionless. Battered. Bleeding. Laid out on the cold concrete floor like he'd just gone through a war he never saw coming. The camera crews rushed to the scene. Medical personnel flooded the hallway. And as the lens panned across the carnage, you could see the devastation written on the faces of everyone around him. This wasn't a worked angle that went a little too far. This wasn't a storyline beatdown where the guy pops up 5 minutes later with a smile on his face. This was real. This was brutal. And this was the end of Jey Uso's road to the Elimination Chamber. WWE posted the footage before SmackDown even hit the air. The caption was simple but chilling. Emergency medical personnel have been called backstage minutes before SmackDown. Reports are that a WWE superstar was attacked backstage but have yet to be confirmed. Then the video played, and the entire wrestling world stopped. You can feel the panic. You can hear the chaos. Superstars are standing around in shock, hands on their heads, trying to process what just happened. Some are yelling for help. Others are just frozen, staring at the wreckage. And in the center of it all is Jey Uso, the man who was supposed to be celebrating with the fans tonight, now lying unconscious with his dream in pieces around him. When SmackDown finally went live, there were no pyrotechnics. No music blasting through the speakers. No electric entrance to kick off the show. Instead, the cameras opened to a scene of absolute devastation. Jey Uso, strapped to a stretcher, neck brace secured, being loaded into the back of an ambulance. And standing beside him, tears of rage in his eyes, was his cousin Jacob Fatu. Fatu's voice cut through the night air like a blade. You could hear the pain, the anger, the desperation. He turned to SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis and screamed, "You better find out who did this." The ambulance doors slammed shut. The sirens wailed. And just like that, Jey Uso was gone. Taken away from the arena. Taken away from his opportunity. Taken away from the moment he'd been building toward for months. The crowd inside the arena had no idea what was happening. They were waiting for the show to start, waiting for their heroes to walk through that curtain. But instead of celebration, they got silence. Instead of excitement, they got dread. Because something had gone horribly, horribly wrong. And the question on everyone's mind was the same. Who did this? Who would be ruthless enough, cold-blooded enough, to take out Jey Uso the night before the biggest match of his career? The initial reports gave no answers. The attacker was unknown. The motive was unclear. All anyone knew was that Jey Uso had been targeted, and whoever did it meant business. You can imagine the chaos backstage. Wrestlers demanding answers. Management scrambling to figure out what to do about the Elimination Chamber. Fans going absolutely insane with theories and speculation. Was it Drew McIntyre trying to eliminate a threat before WrestleMania? Was it someone from the bloodline settling an old score? Was it a returning superstar making the most violent statement possible? For days the mystery lingered. But the truth, when it finally came to light, was even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Because the man responsible for hospitalizing Jey Uso wasn't some masked vigilante. It wasn't a surprise return from the past. It was a man who had been simmering with rage, building up frustration, and waiting for the perfect moment to unleash absolute hell. It was the same man who had been disrespected, mocked, and pushed to his absolute breaking point. It was Bronn Breaker. Now if you're sitting there thinking, wait, Bronn Breaker and Jey Uso? What's the history there? Let me take you back. Because this wasn't just a random attack. This was personal. This was calculated. This was revenge. Breaker and Uso have a history that runs deep. They've crossed paths multiple times over the past year, trading wins and losses, trading championships, and trading respect. At one point, Breaker was the Intercontinental Champion, a dominant force who looked unstoppable. But Jey Uso dethroned him, taking that title and becoming main event Jey in the process. Breaker never forgot that loss. He never let it go. Then, months later, the roles reversed. Breaker took back what he believed was his, defeating Uso to reclaim the Intercontinental Championship. But even then, it wasn't enough. Because everywhere Breaker went, all he heard was wait. The fans loved Jey. They chanted for him. They celebrated him. And Breaker? Breaker was sick of it. Just weeks before the attack, during a WWE live event in Jacksonville, the tension between the two men exploded. Jey Uso was doing what he always does, running his entrance back multiple times, getting the crowd hyped, making them chant along with him. But Breaker was in the ring, waiting, fuming, watching Jey milk the moment for everything it was worth. And when Jey climbed to the top rope for what felt like the fifth time to yeet with the fans, Bron Breaker snapped. He stormed across the ring and blindsided Jey with a vicious assault. He stomped him repeatedly in the corner. He mocked Jey's signature hand wave, turning it into a taunt, a symbol of disrespect. The crowd booed. The hatred was real. And in that moment, you could see it in Breaker's eyes. This wasn't just about winning matches anymore. This was about making Jey Uso pay. So when SmackDown rolled around and Jey Uso was found lying in that hallway, broken and bloodied, it all started to make sense. Bron Breaker had finally done what he'd been threatening to do for weeks. He took Jey out. Not in the ring where there are rules, not in front of the fans where there are consequences, but in the shadows, in the back where no one could stop him. And just like that, Jey Uso's road to WrestleMania was over before it even began. But here's the thing about moments like this. Here's what makes wrestling so powerful, so emotional, so gut-wrenching. It's not just about the attack. It's about what it represents. Jey Uso had fought so hard to get to this point. He broke away from the bloodline. He stood on his own 2 feet. He became a singles champion. He became a fan favorite. He became main event Jey. And just when it felt like everything was falling into place, just when WrestleMania was within reach, it all came crashing down. You can feel the weight of that loss. You can feel the devastation. Because Jey didn't just lose a match. He lost an opportunity. He lost a dream. And Bron Breaker took it from him without hesitation, without remorse, and without mercy. Now, if you're feeling the emotion of this story, if you're as fired up as I am right now, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to SlamZone. Join this family. Because we break down the biggest, most intense moments in wrestling every single week, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Drop a comment below and tell me how you're feeling. Are you heartbroken for Jey? Are you impressed by Breaker's ruthlessness? Let's talk about it. And make sure that notification bell is on, because when wrestling history happens, you need to be here with us. The aftermath of the attack sent shockwaves through the entire WWE roster. With Jey Uso hospitalized and unable to compete, the Elimination Chamber match suddenly had a massive hole in it. 5 men were set to compete: Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Trick Williams, Javon Evans. But that 6th spot? That spot that Jey had earned with blood, sweat, and sacrifice? It was wide open. And you better believe that chaos erupted when WWE started looking for a replacement. Enter Logan Paul, the social media megastar. The man who's made a career out of inserting himself into the biggest moments possible. Paul Heyman came out on SmackDown and pushed for Logan Paul to take Jey's spot. The argument was made. The wheels started turning. And SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, after consulting with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce, made the call. Logan Paul would get the spot, but only if he could defeat Jacob Fatu in the main event. The stakes were set. The match was made. And the drama was just getting started. Jacob Fatu, Jey's cousin, the man who rode with him in that ambulance, was out for blood. He wanted revenge. He wanted justice. And he wanted to make sure that whoever attacked Jey would pay the price. But Logan Paul? Paul didn't care about any of that. He cared about opportunity. He cared about grabbing that Elimination Chamber spot and inserting himself into the WrestleMania picture. The match itself was absolute chaos. Fatu dominated early, his rage fueling every strike, every slam, every devastating move. He was fighting for his family. He was fighting for Jey. And Logan Paul? Paul was fighting for survival. But this is WWE, and chaos is the name of the game. Theory interfered at ringside, giving Paul an opening. Heyman created distractions. Paul hit a low blow when the referee wasn't looking. And then, in the middle of all the madness, a masked man ran into the ring and attacked Theory. The crowd went insane. Who was it? What was happening? The mystery deepened. But in the end, through all the interference, all the chaos, all the controversy, Logan Paul walked away with the victory. He earned the spot in the Elimination Chamber. And Jey Uso, lying in a hospital bed somewhere, could only watch as his dream was handed to someone else. The emotional toll of that moment cannot be overstated. Imagine being Jey. Imagine working your entire career to get to this point, only to have it ripped away by a cowardly attack. Imagine lying in that hospital bed, bandages wrapped around your body, knowing that someone else is living your dream. Knowing that Bronn Breaker got exactly what he wanted. But Jey Uso is a fighter. He's a warrior. And just days after the attack, he posted a message that showed the world exactly who he is. The photo showed him in a hospital bed, bruised but not broken, battered but not defeated. And the caption was simple. Tomorrow is day 1. The road back. That's the spirit of a champion. That's the heart of a superstar who refuses to quit, no matter how hard he gets hit. Bronn Breaker may have taken Jey out of the Elimination Chamber. He may have ruined his WrestleMania moment. But he didn't break him. He didn't destroy him. And when Jey Uso comes back, and he will come back, you better believe that Bronn Breaker is going to regret the day he ever laid hands on main event Jey. Because this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. This is just the beginning of what's going to be an all-out war between two of the most intense, most passionate, most dangerous superstars in WWE today. And when they finally collide again, when Jey gets his hands on Breaker, it's going to be explosive. It's going to be brutal. And it's going to be one of the most emotional moments in wrestling history. So what happens next? Where does Jey Uso go from here? How does Bronn Breaker follow up the most vicious attack of his career? And what does this mean for the Elimination Chamber, for WrestleMania, for the entire WWE landscape? Those are the questions that every single wrestling fan is asking right now. And trust me, the answers are going to blow your mind. This is why we love this business. This is why wrestling matters. Because it's not just about championships and victories. It's about the stories. It's about the emotion. It's about the moments that make you jump out of your seat, that make you feel something real, something raw, something unforgettable. Jey Uso didn't get his WrestleMania moment this year. But his story is far from over. Bronn Breaker proved that he's willing to do whatever it takes to be the top dog in WWE. And the collision course they're on? It's only getting more intense. Before I let you go, I need you to do one more thing for me. Hit that like button if this breakdown gave you chills. Subscribe to SlamZone so you never miss another moment of wrestling chaos. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know, because stories like this deserve to be talked about, debated, and remembered. And drop a comment below telling me what you think is going to happen when Jey Uso finally gets his hands on Bronn Breaker. Is Jey going to get his revenge? Or is Breaker too dangerous to be stopped? This is SlamZone, where wrestling gets real, where every moment matters, and where we break down the biggest stories in the most passionate way possible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this family. And remember, in wrestling, the story is never over. The best is always yet to come. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and I'll see you in the next one.